Hi, and welcome back to Spiritual Shenanigans. My name is Jose Lindsay, and here at Spiritual Shenanigans, it's pretty much where spirituality meets the shenanigans of life. In part 4 today of our happiness series, we're going to be talking about dreaming big, but really what that is law of attraction and law of vibration. And I'm going to get into how it actually works, because if you're like me, you've been seeing a lot of manifestation videos, and it goes something like, I manifested my car, I manifested my house, do these two things, and it'll appear out of the blue. But meanwhile, they never really explain why that's happening. And in my experience, that's not how it works. So I'm going to actually show you a little bit of why law of attraction, which is a law of vibration, actually works, how you can attract the things that you want, and things to watch out for when you're doing this so that you're not attracting what you don't want. So if you're just joining us today, this is part of a happiness series. So this is part 4. I will put it very briefly on the screen. What we touched on is the part 1 was happiness, what it is and how you get it. Then we went into one of the steps of happiness, which is self-acceptance. The last video was about a positive mindset. Today we're talking about law of attraction. Then we're going to talk about the magic of being in the present moment. In another video, we'll talk about gratitude. And how explain that is those steps, as you can see on the screen, 1 to 5 there. That's about igniting your light. And then the last step is kindness and sharing your light and being kind to others. Like explained in part 1, this is absolutely not linear steps. These are not linear processes. This is just a simple way of explaining what we're doing. Okay, so back to today. So first things first, when you're looking at those manifestation videos, what's sometimes lacking in some of their explanations, if there is an explanation, is that law of attraction is very similar to law of gravity. You cannot turn it off. So you don't use law of attraction to attract just the things that you want. It's a law of vibration that is matching what you are putting out there at all times, and you cannot turn it off. Very much like a rapid with a current. You can actually put your boat and go with the current, or you can stream up the current. So attracting what you want easily or going against it, and always attracting the things that you don't want. A video that you'll never see is of somebody going on there and saying, okay guys, I'm going to do a manifestation video today. I manifested stubbing my toe, burning my toast, missing my bus, and my boss being a tool. Like, you'll never see a manifestation video about that, but that is also manifestation. We use the manifestation word, we throw it around like it's this thing that you use when you get what you want, but it's actually not like that. You're attracting what you're being, feeling, thinking at all times. So just like you're attracting all the crap you don't want, you can also switch it and attract the things that you do want. So that's often something that's not talked about, is that this law, just like you can't reverse gravity, you can't reverse this law of vibrations. Always, always, always in play. And I know what some of you are thinking. I've been trying to manifest and attract for years, and it doesn't work. I put out what I want, and it doesn't come back. And this stuff is all woo-woo stuff, and it doesn't even work, because I've been wanting a job, I've been wanting a house, I've been wanting a partner for years, and I don't get it. So this stuff doesn't work, and it's all woo-woo. Well, the thing is, like I just said, you are creating every single moment. The problem is you are creating something that's not desired. You are observing what you are creating, and you are defaulting to the emotions that that situation is causing, which you don't like, giving emotions that are not good. And those thinking and emotions is causing more of the thing that you don't want. So moment to moment, day after day, you're in groundhog mode. If you've seen that movie, same thing over and over, day after day. but you're doing it. And if your life is stagnant and always the same of the things that you don't want, you're still doing it and just wanting something without using the energy correctly, you will always want. Want has an energy component of, I don't have it, therefore I want it. So let's say you want to attract a new car. When I want a car, but when you want a car, what you're actually feeling is, my car is terrible, I don't have a car. I want money. When you're saying I want money, what you're feeling is, I want money because I feel like I'm broke and life is really hard. So we're going to go through that later. Just because you want something doesn't mean you're attracting that. You're actually making stronger the thing that you don't want. So this is where a lot of the manifestation stuff is never explained, and we all get frustrated. I've been there, me too. So how does law of attraction or law of vibration actually work? I'm actually going to just get my little whiteboard here, and I will apologize ahead of time for my drawing. This is going to be little stick figures at a grade 1, possibly kindergarten level, but it'll help me illustrate the point, okay? So you're actually a walking energy field in a flesh suit. I know this is a hard concept, but let me just illustrate what I'm talking about. So this is you, and you are emitting with your frequency, your energy, your energetic signature. And before I get into that, you have to realize that you are more energy than matter. How so? Your tissue is made out of cells. Your cells are made out of molecules. Your molecules are made out of atoms. And then there's at this subatomic level where a bunch of crazy things happen, like in quantum physics, that you can go into. I've gone down that rabbit hole, and there's a lot of woo-woo, but pretty awesome stuff in there. So when you go that you're in atoms, and we all have a visual of what an atom is, but it's actually energy. And even when you go into the subatomic, when you're going into the, the nucleus, that's protons and neutrons, and then you have an electron going around it, that's way more energy than matter. At the base of you is energy. The further down you go and do a deep dive, you'll see that there's less and less matter, and there's more and more energy. And your eyes are deceiving you at all times. We only have 5 senses to pick up on the energy field that is like shooting billions of things at us every second. But we are creatures that just use 5 senses to take that information, and everything is almost sort of like an illusion. Everything looks separate. Everything looks hard. Like right now I'm tapping on my desk. I look like a body. You're separate from me, the trees and all of that. But basically, like what I am and how I picture myself so that this makes sense. I know it's going to sound weird, but basically I am energy, and I've put myself into a flesh suit, a skin suit with a zipper on it. So I am containing a certain amount of energy. You are an energetic field in a flesh suit in a zipper. The tree is an energetic field that's in a tree suit. So's your bed, your desk, a rock. And the crazy part is if you want to talk about an energetic field, it's not just the stuff that's in the suits that I talked about, people and things. The stuff between the things are an energetic field. So you are just part of an energetic field. All the things around you are an energetic field. And the stuff between you, very much like fish are in water, there's a substance between the fish, and it's an energetic soup. So your eyes are deceiving you. And the more you get into this, and like I said, quantum physics, and you study this, the more that you think that you know something, and the more that you understand that we know nothing. Humans, the way that we're built and the way that we observe the world is a very, very limited capacity. What we can't see, what's going on behind what we can't see with our eyes or feel or taste or touch, is way more going on than what we can observe. Okay, so we have to start there. Your whole life around you is energy. The universe is energy, and everything in the universe is energy. So let's start there. And like I said, your energy. You are made of tissue organs that are made of cells, that are made of molecules, that are made of atoms, and all of that is energy field. So this is your flesh suit. You are constantly emitting energy from you, and when that goes out, you attract the same back. You are the power source creating the energy field that you will attract back. So there's a couple of ways how you're going to attract the things that you actually want, but you're also doing this with the things that you don't want, okay? It's both ways. You can't turn this off, ever. So you have your thoughts. They are going out. So we talked about positive thinking in the last one. Whatever you think about, you get. Your thoughts are very powerful, and it sends out into the universe, into the field, into the energy soup, what you want. And the magnet that brings it in is what you feel. So this is your heart here. Your feelings, what you feel, electric and magnetic, electromagnetic signals. This is how you are sending out your energy. Often you're doing it without knowing. Once you get this, and once you realize what you're doing and how life is responding to you and getting it back, this can change your life. Like if you master this, you will be creating your own reality. You will no longer be a victim thinking that life is just happening to you. You will be able to create the life that you want. This is crucial. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot. He explains it really well. I highly recommend that you watch him. He always talks about the electromagnetic field, that the thoughts are the language of the brain, the emotions are the language of the body. He talks about having the intention of what you want with an elevated emotion to back that up. So this is how a lot of us are doing it. You're just going out in the world and you're observing certain things that you don't like, and you're just putting out random stuff that is not intentional. So let's say you're thinking, oh my gosh, life is so expensive. Groceries are so expensive. I can't believe how expensive absolutely everything is. You're sending that out, and then you're feeling the emotions of anxiety. You don't have enough. You're broke. And then what's going to come back to you is stuff that's going to match that. When you go to the grocery store, stuff will be extra expensive. Your car might break down. You'll have extra bills and things. When you have a lack mentality, you're sending that out and getting it back. If it's getting into winter, you're like, I always catch colds. I'm always sick. I'm sick for at least 3 weeks. I always get pneumonia. I always get bronchitis. I know it. And then you're attracting the feelings of what that feels like. Sure enough, you're going to be sick. This is for little stuff and big stuff. I always hate my job, sending it out. I hate my job. My boss is always terrible. All the companies are horrible out there. They just want money. They treat me terribly. They're always taking advantage of me, and they always pay me way less than anybody else. And you're feeling the rage and all of that. Even if you were to switch jobs, you're taking yourself with you. So when you're applying to the next job where you think it's them, those guys, they're always cheating me. They're always not treating me well. You're taking your thoughts and your emotions with you. So guess what? The next job, just give it enough time. You're sending out this broadcast. You're going to get it back. You're going to keep switching jobs until you change what you are thinking and feeling. You're always going to attract it back. And it's very much the same with a relationship. You take yourself in every single relationship. If you're a woman and you're like, men are terrible, they're always treating me badly. I actually had a coworker once. She had a horrible opinion about men. And the statements she would say, I would actually literally stop her and saying, that's actually not true. Like, I've been with men that treat women really well. I've always gotten along with them. They've always treated me really nice. And she was so set on her opinion about men. And sure enough, every time she would date somebody for a few dates and they didn't treat her well and they were male chauvinist and they thought they knew better than her and all of that. Okay. So it doesn't matter what the topic is. This is what's happening for your vibration and your energy. So it's 4 steps. We touched on a couple of them. So you have to, number 1, imagine. Use your mental picture, your visualization of what is wanted, okay? You have to have a vision for yourself. You cannot just keep reacting to the same things, having emotional knee-jerk reactions, and doing that the whole day and waking up and thinking that your day is going to be different. You have to have an intention, a vision of what is wanted. That is number 1. You have to put pictures in your mind of what that would look like. And in order to do that, you have to stop scrolling. You have to stop watching the news because all you're doing is feeding yourself negativity and you're matching what you're feeling. So let's say you had a bad day at work, then you watch the news, and then you're yelling with your spouse, and then you go to bed, and then you can't believe you're having the same thing the next day. You have to give yourself the time and put the phone away, go in nature, and actually give yourself the time to think about, envision something that you want, something that you desire. Okay, so that's step number 1. You have to have a picture, a vision of what is wanted. Second part, you have to feel it. You have to feel that like it's real. What would that feel like? So I'll give an example. You know what? Let's use this YouTube channel and for myself. So I had a vision of taking some knowledge that I knew and I had it for kids and doing something for adults. So I had to have a vision of myself doing some kind of series videos, something for adults. I put it in my mind as something that I wanted to do. Then I had to feel the feelings that comes with it of me doing the videos right now. I made myself feel that I would be confident, that I can do it easy, naturally, and feeling the success of it and the fulfillment of it. I've already felt that going into these videos. Step number 3 is to believe. Now, it's always like imagine, feel, believe. But I've actually changed my feeling on the word believe. I once heard somebody talking about, like, it's not really believe, it's knowing. Because if you talk about the word believing, it's like, do you believe that you have a mother? Well, no, I have a mother. Do you believe in the sun? It's like, well, I don't believe in the sun. There is a sun. Do you believe that you have hands? Well, I don't believe that I have hands. I know that I have hands. So what I've come to realize recently is a better term of believing is knowing. I know this to be true. And another statement that you can say about that in your mind is, it is done. Like, this has happened, and I know that this is happening. I know that it's done. I know that it's successful. That's very different than wanting or hoping or wishing. I know this is happening is very different than believing. And the last step is actually letting it go. Allowing. Like, I know this to be true, so if it's true, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to be playful, go have fun, and let it be. Because it's something that, like, you don't even worry about it. Because if you can get yourself to the knowing it's done, and you have that feeling that it's already done, it's like you're already thankful for it. So let's use another example that might be something that you want in your life. Let's say a job. So following these steps, you are imagining a job. Now, before we go into this example, okay, one thing to think of that nobody talks about in manifestation is, why do you want the thing you want? Why do you want the thing you want? And this is what I mean by that. Like if you ask a teenager or somebody in their 20s right now, what do you want to be when you grow up? An influencer, a YouTuber. But if you were to ask them why, well, I want to be famous and I want to buy myself all the things and have that life that I see and get all the things. The why, you can already see that there won't be much fulfillment there because they're doing it for fame and money. And the thing that you want has to be authentic to you. So we'll go back to my videos. The things that I want to do here are things that I'm generally interested in, have generally researched, have generally loved, and really want to just share the information. It's authentic. Another example would be, I go to high schools, okay, and I've heard this before of, I'm going to be a doctor. Why do you want to be a doctor? Because my parents want me to be a doctor. That one's a tricky one because when you're younger, you have a lot of family pressure. But if you're going for some kind of career because somebody else wants you to be that, you're actually going to have a harder time. You can put your mind to it and you can attract, like we talked about, but you won't be fulfilled. So having said all those things, before we go into attracting what you want, really look at the reasons why you want them and make sure it's something that is natural to you, authentic to you, and something that is true to you. So let's go with attracting a job. So you have to feel that job that is the ideal job, what that looks like, name it, where you would work, the environment that you would work in. You have to have visuals in your mind. That's step number one. So to put pictures in your mind. Step number two would be to feel what it feels like to work in that environment. What are you feeling? What are you feeling every day? When you're picturing your job, don't put, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. I have so much to do. I'm the lead of a whole division and man, it's really stressful, but the pay is good. No. You're going to do your ideal outcome of, I feel like finally all my knowledge is being used here. The company treats me really well. I have great colleagues. I love going into work. We've got such a great mission and we're helping the world, or whatever it is. Okay, so you're gonna feel. And then you're going to see if you can just know it. You just come from a place that it's done. So you've already achieved that and you're like being thankful for having already received it. It's very different than hoping and wishing that you get the job. You've already got it. It is done. And if we go into something that famously Neville Goddard, that's another really good one to look into. Assume the feelings of a wish fulfilled. Assume the feelings of a wish fulfilled. So here is where that feeling and that knowing sort of combine. You're assuming the feelings and you're putting in your mind like it's already done. Okay, so you've landed that job. And then after you've done that, let it go before you get into too many of the details. So like, well, how is that going to come to me? And oh, I have all these 50 steps to do. Let it go. Only think of it and feel it to the time that it feels good, and then you let it go. And then you let it to the whatever you believe in, the universe, the field, whatever, and you let it go on your day, and act as if it's already there. Feel really good, okay? So that's the steps of using that law of vibration, what you're putting out, you're getting back from the universe. So that's using the law of vibration in your favor. You leave the house, out of it, but you will get inspired action. So after you leave that be and you felt good, you'll get steps sort of like a GPS. So another way to think about this is a GPS or Google Maps or whatever you use for navigation. Very much in the way that you enter your destination. So let's say I was going to New York City. I have to put New York City. So you have to know where you're going, okay? So the vision is really important. Where are you going in life? If you don't put a destination in, you're just sitting in the car and you're not going anywhere. So the vision, put that in. Then the navigation system will not spit out 100 directions all at the same time while you're sitting in the car because you're never going to remember it, right? Once your car starts moving in that direction, it'll give you one step. And then after that step, it'll give you the next step. After that step, it'll give you the next step. After that step, it'll give you the next step. That's more of inspired steps as opposed to pushing and making something happen. Just start taking baby steps towards it, and then you'll get a hunch, an inspiration, and then you'll get the next step, the next step. So think about that, and there'll be a little bit more flow that way. So law of attraction manifestation has nothing to do with sitting on your sofa. I thought of that thing and it came to me and it appeared out of the blue. It doesn't happen like that. There's always action. But if you're doing action knowing that this has already happened and you're taking inspired steps and hunches, that's super different than the stuff that I had heard about anyway for manifestation and making something appear. Okay, so think of that GPS, and that'll really help you along your journey. A saying I've heard that I'll put here, which summarizes a lot what we're talking about, is that you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. So like we talked about before, you don't attract the thing that you just keep saying that you want or hope for. You attract what you're beaming out, like a bat signal, or like you are attracting what you are beaming out. If you feel lack all the time, you're getting lack back. If you feel like a victim in life, you're going to get circumstances in life that will make you feel like a victim. If you feel that people are mean and horrible, you will attract that in your life. You're not necessarily attracting what you're wanting. You are always, always attracting what you are being, what you are. The other thing to think about when you are using this very powerful law of attraction is to be cautious of using the word don't. For example, I don't want to be late. I don't want to fail. I don't want to be awkward at this party. I don't want to be stuck in traffic. When you use the word don't, the universe doesn't focus on the word don't. It's focusing on the thing after don't. For example, here, I don't want to be late. It's focusing on late. I don't want to fail. It's focusing on the word fail. Here's an example of this. If I told you, do not think of 2 brown puppies. Do not think of 2 brown puppies. What happens instantaneously? You think of 2 brown puppies. Do not think of 2 brown puppies playing with a red ball. What just happened? I gave it more details. You're thinking of it more in more details. As soon as you say, I don't want X, that is what you're attracting. Just like that picture came to mind right away, that's how the universe is answering you. So be very, very cautious. I don't want to be like, if you have a relative, I don't want to be like my aunt. I don't want to be like my father. I don't want these bills. I don't want. You have to start flipping that into what you do want and then follow the steps. So just something also people don't talk about is you certainly will attract, like I said, you can't turn it off. And all the things that you don't want, they're coming too. Okay, so be cautious of that. Okay, so we're going to do another little scribble here just to illustrate this point. You basically have old me and new me. So this is the person you're trying to become. This is you, who you are right now. So this is the journey from where you are right now to where you want to go. This could be the 2.0 version of yourself. So we're going to use a standard example of some of the thoughts that a lot of people are having right now. And let's talk about abundance, because that's something on a lot of people's minds, especially today. So this is you. You might have thoughts like, life is so expensive, I can't afford anything, my rent keeps going out, there's no way I'll ever be able to buy a house, I'm taxed too much, my job doesn't give me enough money, the world isn't fair, everything's too expensive, it keeps going up, soon enough I won't be able to afford groceries, I don't like my job, and on and on and on. Meanwhile, as you're thinking those thoughts, you're feeling them. So the vibration that you're sending out is very negative, and you're getting back in life all of the things that you're sending out yourself. You're observing more and more of the things that you're saying. You're observing and then feeling all over again when it makes you feel anxiety, lack, not feeling good, not good enough, and that the universe isn't listening to you and you want all these things and you're not getting them. Life isn't fair. So that's the old you. You have to step away from this old person and realize what you are sending out yourself and visualize the new you, the 2.0, okay? What is it that you're wanting? I want to be abundant. I want to love what I do every day. This person feels more freedom. This person feels more joy. So you have to imagine the life that you want here. So what does that look like? Money in your account, paying bills easily, everything comes easily to you. How does that feel? What is that sensation that all the bills are paid? What is that sensation of buying a house? What does it feel like when you walk into the house? You can even picture the counters, looking out the back window. What does that look like? What's the feeling that I have? What's the feeling that I have when I look at my bank account and I see those extra zeros? What am I seeing in my bank account? What am I feeling? So 2.0 version. You have to look at, what are you leaving behind? All the things that don't serve you, and what are you bringing to this person? So if I use the example of myself, I used to be pretty limited and I didn't think that my thoughts were worth sharing. I was in a lack mindset for a long time, and I kept myself in a box and had dead-end jobs for a long time. But right now, the version of myself that I'm thinking of is, I'm successful. I put my ideas out there on YouTube. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. And I'm actually visualizing and thinking of, actually, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to go speak and you're in front of a lot of people and you're helping a lot of people? What does it feel like to actually see money coming in from the things that you love? What does she, version 2.0 of myself, Jose, what does she think? What does she feel? How is she acting in the world? And I need to embody that version, and then that will come to me. So you're embodying the new version of yourself, and then what you're thinking from there and attracting and feeling back, what you're sending out, you're going to get back. So you're assuming the feelings of a wish fulfilled here. Okay, so that's how you get what you want. And one thing I wanted to mention when we're talking about emotions and feeling what you want, if you look at the word emotion, I'll actually put it up, E-motion. Emotions are energy in motion. So that's why what you feel, and often people are like, just think of what you want and it'll come to you. That's not true. The huge component of this is the emotions that you feel, the energy in motion. That's why it's so important and so magnetic. Emotion. So keep that in mind also when we're talking about the energy component of this. And one other thing that I heard from Bashar, it might be a little bit out there for some people just starting into self-development, but if you are into spirituality and you know Bashar, he has some great stuff about attracting what you want in your life. And one of the things is when he's talking about, you're attracting your reality just like a mirror. And he has a great visualization. He says, it's like you're going up to the mirror and asking the mirror to smile first. That's what we're doing right now. Like, mirror, when you smile, I'll smile back. So it's like, once I attract what I want, I'll feel good. But what he's always saying is, you have to smile first, and then the reflection will smile back. So it's often reversed. We're like, I'll feel good once I get all the things that I want. It's like, I'll feel good when I have the house. I'll feel good when I have the money. I'll feel good when I have my partner. I want all these things, and I'm just waiting. I feel like crap right now, and I'm just waiting for those things. And when those things come, I'll feel good. But law of attraction is actually the opposite. You have to smile first. You have to feel good first. You have to feel abundant first. You have to feel deserving first. You have to feel confident first. You have to feel the things first, and then your reality will reflect it back. Okay? So that's another way that's super helpful. So I hope this was helpful to you. This was the Dreaming Big, Law of Vibration, Law of Attraction. I know it's a little bit woo-woo in there, but basically you are the creator of your life. Right now, we're stuck in reacting. We're always reacting to the things and having thoughts that are from those observations and reacting in knee-jerk responses. But once you get out of that and you start using some of these things to create the life that you want, you will 100% be able to get the things that you want in your life. So try some of these out. Make sure that you imagine what you want. Feel it, believe it, or know it, and then let it go and see what happens. If you happen to be like I was and are really in negative thinking and having a hard time even thinking what you want, the previous video to this on positive thinking would help you a lot. And like I said, this is a series. All of the videos on the happiness series will be linked, and you can watch the next one right here. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I am Jose Lindsay. Thank you for being here. Much love.